Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and despite it being an international break, and despite me thinking we wouldn't have a lot of juicy news to talk about over the next couple of weeks, Celtic always find a way, don't they? So let's get into this video. Let's talk about a potential exit from Celtic over the next wee while. Is Liel Abada the first player to go out the door this summer? He could be. Yes, hello, welcome back to the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated. As I said in last night's live stream, the next couple of weeks, probably a wee bit slower in the channel. We might not have as much to talk about. But amongst all of that, last night's stream was incredibly fun. I enjoyed it. We spoke about a lot of wee niche things that we normally wouldn't speak about in a kind of 10-minute video. You know, the stuff about season ticket alternatives and the stuff about Martin O'Neill and Ange Postecoglou's side. A couple of rants from myself that I probably wouldn't publish into a 10-minute video. So we're going to do more of them throughout the next couple of weeks. I enjoyed them. Keep your eye out on the channel for when I decide to spontaneously go live. And yeah, you can join in. You can get all your conversation. It's nice to kind of keep up with you guys. But today, we actually have a video, which is good. All I've woke up and seen this morning is Liel Abada's name everywhere on Twitter, everywhere on the tabloids, websites. And when it comes to Celtic, it seems to be the main talking point right now, for all the wrong reasons, you could say. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I made a video on the channel, which I could probably direct you towards, talking about Liel Abada's contract situation, and the fact that he didn't sign a new contract in January, and what the Israeli national team manager was kind of conspiring amongst that. Since then, we've had more conspiring on the future of Liel Abada, but something that might be more telling towards his future with Celtic. One that might suggest that he's only got a limited time left with us. That'll be this season and then off in the summer. Now, the big disclaimer I want to give you before we go any further with this video is this isn't me saying all of this. I will give my opinion to it, as always, and I'll be very vocal in my opinion because I've got a lot to say. A lot of it will be repeated from that video a couple of weeks ago, I must say, but this is all coming from speculation and from outside sources who I have no contact with or, no sort of inner knowledge with myself. This is all going off what's been said. However, I think that it could be some of the most likely scenarios coming out from these statements that we'll eventually see this summer. I think Liel Abada probably will move on. I think that the writing's kind of on the walls with what we've seen across today's quotes, the quotes from the Israeli national team manager. I think that the time is coming to an end for Liel at Celtic. Now, can I start it by saying as well, I don't want it to be Liel's time at Celtic coming to an end. I'd love to see Liel Abada stay at Celtic for a long, long time. Big fan of him. Think he's a great player. He's only 21 years old. He's younger than me. You know, I think he's got I think the ceiling is very, very high. It's a glass ceiling, almost, for Liel Abada. I think the potential in him is greater than a lot of players that we have at the club right now. And I don't want to see him go. He's got another 3 years left in his deal. There's no rush to get him out the door. But that's the problem with what these stories and these quotes are doing. And I use the term conspiring because I feel like it's very easy for people to now buy into conspiracy theories and turn their back on a player. And already people are rewriting Liel Abada's Celtic career because they're not happy at where his future may be. And that's why I want to make this video today and give my opinion to it all. So let's give some context to the story so you know where we're coming from. If you've been under a rock, you might not have heard by now. Stephen McGowan of the Daily Mail, obviously quite a well-known source, journalist, he reported this morning that Celtic and Liel Abada have not come to an agreement to re-sign a contract. That's not news. However, Premier League side Southampton, they're looking at the potential tabling of a £10 million offer for Liel Abada in the summer transfer window, and according to some other quotes, there already was contact with Premier League clubs in the January transfer window. But the main part of the story is that Stephen McGowan's reporting there's no agreement for a new contract, nothing on the table yet for Liel Abada, and it looks as though there won't be anything on the table for Liel Abada after he knocked back previous offers. Now, as I said, this isn't news. The video a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the Israeli national team manager saying that he thinks that he's not been playing as much or starting as much at Celtic because he didn't sign that contract. Liel Abada himself said he didn't want to talk about it in an interview back in January as well. He said he wanted to focus on his football rather than contractual matters. So this isn't new. This isn't anything that we've not heard yet. However, a lot more has been added to the situation. So, Maccabi Petah Tikva, the side that Celtic signed Liel Abada from, the chief executive of their side, former president of Liel Abada, he was out in the media speaking about the future of our player. And you know, you'd imagine there probably is some communication between the two of them. This is where it's kind of becomes more reliable and such, because I'd imagine they shared a good relationship when they worked together. I'd imagine they probably still share a good relationship. So, you know, there could be a bit of truth to this. He was in the media as well. He was speaking and said this. This is his quotes on screen. I believe he was sold in the summer to the Premier League. There were talks already in the last window, but he didn't want to be sold. They offered him a contract extension, and I know he didn't agree because he wants to be sold. I don't know the names of the teams, but there are offers, and I believe at a probability level of over 90% that he will move in the summer. Now, Avi Luzon is the name of the chief executive here that was speaking to the media, was saying this. I don't know who Mr. Luzon has heard this from firsthand. Whether it be Liel Abada, whether it be his family, whether it be his agents. I don't know firsthand. He doesn't say that. He's not revealed his sources. However, I think that it's extremely believable that this is one that you can probably take with a lot of truth in it. You know, Liel Abada has been used sparingly this season in the sense that he's not started a lot of games. He's kind of become second choice on that right-hand side. Yeah, he's played more games than anyone. Fantastic for him. He's been involved so much, but in terms of his minutes, sparingly, you would say. He's not had 90 minutes under his belt an awful lot this season, or even close to that an awful lot this season. I think that he would want to move on if he has that opportunity. Stephen McGowan's reporting that Southampton are looking at the possibility for a £10 million move. Celtic signing for £3.6 million. The club would be making, you know, quite a bit of profit there. You're talking £7 million profit for Celtic, which is great for us. Maybe we should be looking for more, considering he's got 3 years left in his deal. He's only 21 years of age, very high potential. But I think that, you know, if he wants to go, and that's the kind of best region that we can get and a price for him, if that's the sort of suitable price point for both sides, I think that we can probably see this. I think the probability of 90+%, as Mr. Luzon says, is probably very realistic. And if he goes, he goes. And that's mostly why I wanted to make this video. I don't need to keep drilling into your heads the quote that Ange Postecoglou gave us back at the AGM in November, December time. He made it very clear that fan favourites will need to go. He made it very clear we'll have to be ruthless in the transfer market, and if people don't want to be here, they move. And that's exactly what we have to keep doing. Liel Abada will leave, and Celtic will replace Liel Abada. And I'm sure, with how the recruitment has been in the last couple of years, the last few years, I'm pretty certain that Celtic will replace him with similar or better quality. The scouting department's been pretty good over the last couple of years. Ange Postecoglou hasn't signed a dud yet, really. Maybe one, maybe two. James McCarthy, Yosuke Deguchi, they kind of pop to mind. But, you know, you can sit all day and talk about them and what's came about from them. But anyway, point being, he will go. And we'll replace him. And we won't need to look back with any sort of hatred, malice, or any negative feelings. And that's why I want to make this. Because already people are turning their backs on Liel Abada. People are rewriting Liel Abada's Celtic career. Liel Abada has been nothing short of brilliant since signing for Celtic. Yeah, maybe recently he's not been at the same heights as he was at one point, but it's hard when you're competing against Dyson Maeda, who's arguably one of the most informed players in the team, Jota, who's class, Haksabanovic, who's been brilliant, came on to a great game. You know, when you're competing with all these wingers and you don't get as much time as some of these wingers, it's hard to live up to that same expectation that you maybe set at such a young age. But to then say that he's not been good enough and to rewrite that and say that you're happy to see him go or you'll drive him down to England yourself or anything negative about him, I think is incredibly harsh. 26 goals since signing for the club between the ages of 19 and 21. Unbelievable. The contributions in the first season especially was huge. He was one of our best players, one of the most important players. In fact, I would go as far to say as maybe one of the key players in those opening few months. And one of the biggest reasons we did so well in the opening few months of Ange Postecoglou was his first signing. And he was a constant in the team for quite a while. And he was very good at that. Very important in setting the tone in the opening few months of Ange Postecoglou's tenure. And people are starting to say he was never that good anyway. We should be getting rid of him. He doesn't deserve any respect because he wants to leave Celtic. Celtic is not the be-all, end-all for these players. People are still struggling to grasp that. What year is it? It's 2023. It's been like this since the early 2000s. This isn't new, and people still can't grasp it. You need to get out of that mindset that players should be coming to Celtic and staying at Celtic for life. I would love it, don't get me wrong. I would absolutely adore it if foreign players would come to Celtic, see it for the great club that it is and the trophies that you could win, and then stay forever and go down as a club legend. That's not how it works. I've accepted that reality. A lot of people have accepted that reality. And if you're on that boat where you're calling Liel Abada all the bastards under the sun for wanting to go, you should accept that reality. He's came, he's made a name for himself, he's contributed very well to the club, which he deserves a lot of credit and respect for, and now he's looking to move on. Celtic is, for these foreign players, a stepping stone club. And Ange Postecoglou knows that, so you should know that. Ange Postecoglou's happy with that, so you should be happy with that. Yes, we can keep banging this drum about winning trophies, Champions League football. Don't get me wrong, I think that this should be one of the biggest attractions in the world, but sadly, the reality is Scotland isn't the attraction. Which means Celtic isn't an attraction for a lot of players. And I would kill for that to change. But until there is a dramatic improvement in the standard of Scottish football and money in Scottish football, the sad truth and reality is players like Liel Abada aspire to move to the English Premier League, to play for any of those sides, double their wages and play in the biggest stage of them all. In club football anyway. Domestic level, playing for a Southampton is probably the most attractive move for these guys. Yeah, it's sad. I hate it. I hate that that's the reality. But I have accepted that that's the reality. And I don't think that Liel Abada deserves any bad words, malice, disrespect, or just overall negative feelings for wanting to further his career now and take it to the next level. If he feels he's ready to take it to the next level and play in the English Premier League for a club like Southampton, he should be allowed to explore that opportunity. And I think that we should wish him the best in going. I won't lose any sleep at night with Liel Abada moving. I won't. That's that. He goes. We make money. We sign someone else. We get better. We move on. We've done it for the last 20 years. We've dominated Scotland for the last 20 years. And we've not had to worry too much when players come and go. And that's just going to be the same thing with Liel Abada. £10 million I think would be a decent fee for Celtic to get. Do I think we should get more or try for more? Yeah. I think so. I would like to see Celtic try and push to get as much as possible. But I don't think I'd have any quarrels with us making 10 million. That's, as I said, about £6.5 million profit on the fee that we paid. It would allow us to explore the transfer market and sign a good replacement. And for someone who has been on the bench a lot this season, I think it's a good fee. I would like to see him stay. If there was any way to try and persuade him to stay another year or two, then that's fine. But, you know, you always risk kind of dwindling these contracts down to the point that they become less valued and then you don't make as much money. If we can make double digits, if we can make tens of millions on him, we may as well take that opportunity now before it's too late. But I'll wish him the best as he leaves the club. I honestly will. I don't think that we should hold any hard feelings against him. And I think one more thing before I wrap up this video is you've got 3 years left in the deal, right? People are getting their knickers in a twist about him not signing a new contract. I can't believe that. He's not signing a new contract. Disrespectful. He's got 3 years left. Why would he dive in? A young Israeli who has no allegiances to Celtic previously before he joined us. Why would he dive in and sign up for another 2 or 3 years when he's got 3 years left? Who knows what's going to happen in the next 3 years? You know what I mean? It's weird. I think he will leave in the summer. Hopefully he gives us a big contribution now in the last couple of months of the season. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. It looks as though he could be the first guy to be heading off in the summer window anyway, but we'll see. Right, that's that for today. Like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments below. I've ranted again. And keep your eyes out on the channel in case we do any live streams anytime soon as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you all next time.